Here we go. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're so happy to have you. And officially, welcome to our Journey Portfolio webinar. With me today, we have Anna. Anna, our CX consultant, our specialist of the night regarding Journey Portfolio. My name is Julia. I'm a customer success manager at Cemantica, and we are here together for our webinar this evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are in the world. All right, so Anna, Journey Portfolio. I love this topic, I have to say. Always very excited about this. But you know, to kick this off, Anna, I thought we could align, okay? You know, start with the basics. What exactly is Journey Atlas? And by the way, is it Journey Atlas? Is it Journey Portfolio? There are a lot of different wordings out there. Can you help us understand better here? And, you know, look at the basics of what Journey Atlas is.
Yes. Let's start with the basics. So as you said, some people call it Journey Atlas, some people call it Journey Portfolio, Journey Collection, and even the catalog of journeys. So at the end of the day, it's a way, a methodology to structure the different customer journeys that you have in the organization, okay? So from my point of view, it's a strategic tool, okay, that will help you to not only to organize the journeys, to uncover, to understand all the journeys that you have in the organization. Why? Because you want to prioritize the journeys you want to start mapping, okay? So basically, this is what a Journey Atlas is.
Okay, I think that's pretty clear. Now, so I have a lot of questions, okay? But when it comes also to Journey Atlas, we hear a lot about the different types of journeys that there are. Macro, micro, touch point. Can you break it down for us? Can you explain to us also how they connect to each other, how it all makes sense?
Yes, for sure. So we normally talk about a hierarchy of journeys, okay? So some people call it macro journeys, okay? As the one you have here in your slide, okay? For example, I want to buy an appliance. This is a master journey. Some people call it master journey, end-to-end journey, high-level journey, level 0 journey. It's all the same, okay? At the end of the day, what it means, it's a journey that is covering all the stages that the customer is doing with a company, from the awareness, from the first time the customer hears about the company till they become an advocacy, an advocate, sorry, or a loyal customer. Okay, so normally you are mapping the master journey when you want to understand the bigger picture. Okay, what's happening in a high level. Then you can go one step, okay, one step deeper and focus on a micro journeys. And again, some people call it micro journeys, state journeys, level 1 journeys, sub journeys. And at the end of the day, you are going deeper. For example, in the example that we have in the slide, I purchased the appliance. The big one is I want to buy an appliance, the end-to-end journey. But then I focus specifically on the buying stage. And here I'm mapping the journey. Why? Because I want to map the journeys that are more challenging for my customers. I want to focus on specific sub-journeys. And then even I can go deeper and have another layers down, okay? So the more you are going down, the more deeper you are, the more detailed you are when creating a journey, the best, or let's say, more quick wins, quick actions you are going to identify. Normally, when you are mapping a master journey, you are going to discover or ideate or validate the big projects you are going to implement in your organization. The deeper you are, the more quick wins or actions you are going to identify. Okay, and then I can see in the slide you have the touch points journey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are the journeys that you are mapping specifically focused on a channel of communication. okay? For example, a journey focused on the website, or a journey on an app, or journeys that you have in your call center, okay?
So you've drilled this
Because
down, you know,
yes,
to different levels.
exactly, exactly. And when you talk about the touchpoint journeys, you can do, again, a master journey, what's going on the website, or you can go deeper, okay? The same approach. And you know, I was discussing with a customer last week, and we are talking about the strategy and blah, blah, blah. And they say, oh, we want to be omnichannel, omnichannel, omnichannel. And I told them, okay, it's good, it's a good strategy, but before being omnichannel, you need to ensure that the channels are working, because sometimes we think about the future, but we need to ensure that we are addressing the pain points that the customer have in the reality today.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was, I think, a great baseline of understanding what is a journey atlas, and at a very, I would say, high level, understanding a little bit more here around how it really plays out. I think what would be really nice, Anna, is if we were to actually deep dive into a real case study. Would you be able to share with us a real life example of how this would be executed for a customer?
Okay, so for security reasons, we cannot share an actual example, okay? But I'm going to use a case study that resemble a real scenario as much as possible, okay? And a scenario that we have of one of our customers, okay?
I think that is perfect.
Yes,
Ready.
yes. So we have in front of us Supratech, okay? So we chose this company because it's the retail sector, and everybody, at least we are consumers of the retail sector. So it's really easy to understand, let's say, this industry. So Supratech, it's a retailer, and they are specialized in consumer electronics and appliances. Okay, so this company is offering a range of products. Imagine televisions, computers, smartphones, home appliances, some furnitures, and then they are selling in big malls, okay, located in different regions. So their main market is the US, but they have Supratech in the UK, different parts of Europe, in Europe, in South America, okay? So they have these malls, and they also provide their customers with their e-commerce, okay, online. So you can buy in the store and online, okay? So let's take a look at this example, and let's think together all the different maps, okay, all the different journeys that a customer can take, okay, in Supratech, okay? And here I put some examples, Julia, okay? For examples, you can see that many journeys, and this is just, okay, a sample, okay?
Yeah.
For example, you have when the customer is searching for a washing machine, when they want to buy a mobile phone, when they are participating in product demonstrations, when they want to schedule a repair, when they want to schedule a delivery or an installation, okay? Both of them at the same time or separately, when they want to follow up on the delivery, or they want to return a product, exchange, okay? Then depending on the business lane, okay, for example, they have the option to finance their product, okay? And then there is a new business lane in the company, and they want to do some renewals, okay? They want to change the floor or modernize the bathroom. So they are also giving this type of services, okay? So as you can see, this is only the journeys that came to my mind what I'm thinking about this retailer, okay? So at the end of the day, when we are talking about journey atlas or journey portfolio, we want to put some order, okay? We want to organize all this mess, okay? And here we are coming with a structure, okay, Julia? So here, first of all, you can see the framework. When I mean framework, I mean, you see the pre-sales, sales, and post-sale, okay? And then you have some stages, but in a very, very high level, because you need to ensure that all the journeys you are going to include in this journey atlas are going to fit, okay, in this path, this high-level path that the customer is following: awareness, consideration, purchase, delivery, installation, use, and advocacy. Okay.
Okay.
And then you consider that you have the macro journeys and the micro journeys. So the idea is to take all the different journeys that we saw before and pull them directly into this structure. Okay. So now it's more organized, because when I see the macro journeys, I can see that, for example, searching for a washing machine and purchasing an air conditioner are macro journeys, and they are covering from the awareness to the use. And then I have some micro journeys, okay, for specific stage of this this framework. Yes. Is it clear now?
So just looking at this now, a question pops into my mind, because obviously when you come from such a big, like you called it, mess of journeys, but I would say, such a big catalog of journeys. What would you say are the common mistakes or challenges that a company run into when they're, their first steps into wanting to build a journey atlas?
Okay, so I'm going to highlight two main challenges that I see when working with our customers mapping their journey atlas. The first one, okay, is super common, that they are, let's say, they are confusing customer journey with the internal processes, okay?
Service blueprint.
Exactly. So when we are talking about customer journeys, we are talking about mapping the journeys from the customer point of view, okay? From the outside-in approach. And a common mistake is to do it from the inside out. So our natural trend is to start mapping our own processes, the processes that we have in our company internally, but we need to take a look, jump into the customer's shoes and do it from the customer perspective, okay? And what you have here, okay, is a methodology focused on one customer journey. It doesn't mean that we don't need to map the internal processes, but normally we start with the customer journey, okay? And once we map the customer experience, we want to map the service blueprint. I mean, the organizational processes that are supporting the experience we are providing to the customers, okay? So once we have the current state, okay, once we understand where we are now and the customer pain points, how can we address the customer frictions, we can ideate the future state, okay? And the future state is the ideal situation that we want to go, okay? And we need to, exactly, omnichannel, for example. Yes, very good examples. How will be the customer experience if I'm omnichannel, and what I need to implement in my organizations? What are the enablers in terms of culture, processes, people, okay? Everything that I need to implement in my organization if I want to go to that future state, okay? And with all of this, with these 4 journeys, okay, then I will jump into prioritization, okay? I need to understand what are the quick wins, the fixes that I need to implement now in order to move to the future state.
So let me just challenge you here with a question, because when we speak about our case study, we speak about our customer that has, you said that they're implemented in the US, in South America, in Europe. So here I feel the challenge is saying, okay, so, but we're not just deployed in one area. How do you go from understanding the main core strategy? So perhaps you would have core maps. I'm just, thinking out loud here. But how do you manage, the localization together with perhaps the core structure that you're trying to build? For our customer here,
Supratech. So yes, so we see this we work with many enterprise customers, so we see this a lot, okay? So it's always happening the same questions, and we are jumping into the strategy, okay? So here we are ideating how we can look for synergies between the different countries and how we can take into consideration those synergies, how we can reuse resources, but at the same time, we want to localize the different customer journeys because it's not the same, the global view, okay, with the different culture, the different people, the different experiences that different people in different countries are expecting from the company, okay? So here in this graph I like it a lot because it's really explain that normally we recommend, or usually, let's say, we recommend to map a core model. Then we can enter into discussion depending on each company and each strategy, how we can build this core model. But we always recommend to start with this core model, and then you can copy the different maps that you build in this core model and localize it for the different, for the different locations or even for the different business areas. And then you need a platform, you need some technology in order to align and to understand the commonalities between the different localization, the different countries. Because at the end of the day, the idea is to save money. So the more you are looking for synergies, the more you can reuse, okay, the better will be for, at the end of the day, for the revenue that you are providing to the organization, okay?
It's a lot of information, and so naturally the first thing now I want to say is Anna, you have to show us. I mean, we need to understand how this is rolled out concretely, and how we can see this sort of framework live. So you're saying that this is something that we could see live in the Cemantica platform?
Yes, you're right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you how these different concepts play out, okay? So at the end of the day, if you want to professionalize the way you are managing the customer experience, okay, I'm looking at share, I won't see it. Okay, if you want to professionalize how you are managing the customer experience, you need a technology, you need a framework, okay? It's the same, it comes to my mind, the same that happened with the CRM systems, okay? Before, everybody used to work with an Excel file, okay? But if you want to professionalize, you need a software. And this is the same. If you want to be serious, if you are really caring about the customer experience, you need a software that supports what you are doing in that space, okay? So Cemantica is a journey management platform, okay? This is the homepage, okay? And let me get back to our case study and talk again about Suprotec, okay? So again, this is a retailer and they are selling appliances, furniture, mobile phone, television, these type of products, okay? So imagine that I'm a journey designer, for example, in the US subsidiary, okay? So the first thing that I'm going to do, I can select in Cemantica the workspace I'm going to work, okay? So as I'm in the US, I can decide to work in my US workspace where I have all the localized journeys for the US, okay? Or I can decide, for example, work in the default workspace because here is where I have the core model, okay? So as I'm going to show you how we organize the journeys, I'm going to be in the default workspace.
So you're
okay?
saying that even on a platform level, the
Yes,
tool can manage that level of localization. So I can have sort of, as you said, the main space where we manage the core framework, and then literally have dedicated workspace for to localize the journey. Wow. Okay.
exactly. At the end of the day, you need a software that can support the complexity that you have in your organization, okay? Now, you can see here different assets that you have in Cemantica. You can analyze the insights, the opportunity, the solutions you have across the different journeys, okay? But this is a different story, okay? Today, I'm going to focus on the journey maps and the journey portfolio. So if I click on the journey maps, okay, what you can see here are all the lists of journeys that you have in my core model, okay? So as you can see, I have a long list of journeys. So the first thing that I need to understand is how can I classify these journeys? I have journeys with different state, status. You see that I have a lot of information. So in Cemantica, it's really simple that you can create views, as simple as creating views to organize your journeys. So here I can understand the current journeys. I can go to the future journeys. I can create views for the finance journeys, the ones that are covering my finance, the different finance products that I have in my organization, and the retail maps, okay? So you can create as many views as you wish. You can create private views or public views so everybody can enjoy them, okay? So for example, I'm going to the retails map that I have in my organization. So depending on who you are in the organization, if you are a journey designer, if you are a decision maker, if you are, let's say, C-level, depending on where you are, you need to get different information from the platform, okay? So imagine that I'm in a room with decision makers from different areas of the organization, and I want to show them the different maps that we have in our portfolio of the retail business, okay? So I'm going to show you practically to you as an example. So this is the journey portfolio or the journey atlas that we have in the retail area in Supratec, okay? Mm-hmm. So the first thing that you can see here is the persona. Okay, the persona represents a group of customers. Normally in the journey portfolio, you are talking about a big group, okay? The biggest group representing different personas. But let me tell you that you can create in Cemantica as many journey portfolios as you wish, okay? So you don't need to overcomplicate it, thinking about creating a big and massive journey portfolio, okay? You can create as many as you wish. For example, this will be for the end consumer, but I can create another one for the B2B, okay? B2B. For exactly for the B2B personas, okay? And then you have the common structure. As we are in the retail business, we have the pre-sales, sales, post-sales, and different stages, okay? And all the journeys that I have inside this portfolio meet to these different stages that I have here in the map, okay? Then I have one view of all the different master journeys. For example, the appliances journeys, and this is covering, as you see here, from awareness to the use stage. Then I have another journey for the furniture, okay? And another journey for the mobile phone. And then I have another lane for the micro journeys, okay? All the journeys that I specifically map for some stages of this specific area of the organization, okay? And then by having this map, I can understand different things. The first thing is where I am when mapping the journeys. I don't need to map all the journeys that I have in my organization. I need to prioritize, and we are going to discuss it later, okay? But you can see where you are. These journeys are under review and validate. These are published. These are under research, okay? So this is a view that you can present to the stakeholders in order to start the discussion of where to start mapping and how you can get most out of the mapping exercise.
So when we look at this here, I even want to take this a step further with also even the ability of, would we be able on a methodology perspective, I mean, to link a journey atlas to another journey atlas?
I like your approach because you are talking about cross-selling or upselling.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can definitely do it. And I have here an example I'm going to show you right now. So as we discussed before, Supratec, okay, they have an option that you can finance your product. Okay. So you can understand here that this is another atlas because the framework is totally different. So I can click on here. I can go directly to the finance journey atlas. So here, as you can see, the structure is very similar, but the stages are different. The macro journeys are different because they are containing specifically the finance product that I'm selling or providing to my customers, okay? And then I have some micro journeys. But then, on addition, again, depending on where you are, okay? If I'm, let's say, focus on the details, okay? Or focus on the journeys, I can focus on the credit card, imagine, journey, okay? From the first time I'm asking for a credit card, then I need to submit, then I need to use my credit card. So this will be one journey. But at some point, and then, sorry, for that journey, I will have some pain points and I will have some opportunities, okay? And the same for the personal loan, if I'm asking for a personal loan. But at the end of the day, if I'm talking, for example, to the finance responsible, okay, the responsible of the area, I need to summarize all the different outcomes that I get in from the different journeys that they have, okay? So in Cemantica, again, depending on who you are, you can build different journeys in order to provide the view that you need to provide to your stakeholders. For example, what I have here, I have the pain points, the top pain points, specifically for the journeys that I have in this map. I don't need to go to all the different pain points. I don't need to go to the details of every map. At the end of the day, if I want to present this to a committee, okay, I need to present the top pain points. I need to present the opportunities that I prioritize, okay, across the different journeys, and I need to present where I am when implementing the different solutions. So again, this type of platforms, okay, will give you this visibility. Did I answer your question, Julia?
Oh, more than that. You always provide, such insightful information. So from all this visual, because we've now rendered it to be so visual, except of this being, the journey atlas, suddenly I also see a lot of information regarding, as you've said, what I'm ready to tackle. So perhaps I will have here a view of the statuses of my journeys, the ones that I'm actually working on, the ones that perhaps I'm not going to be focusing on. So really what I'm looking at here as well is that layer of how Cemantica will be able to show me what will bring me the most impact, how this journey atlas will help me understand where to focus to obtain the most CX, I would say, the CX improvements that I'm looking for. Is that correct?
Yes, definitely. I think you are talking about prioritization. But before talking about prioritization, one key that will help you to prioritize is data. Okay, so at some point, you always need to inject data into your maps. Okay, so when I talk about injecting data, I specifically, let me show it to you. Okay, I'm getting back to my journey portfolio. Okay, I want to understand where I am. Okay, what is my customer feedback in these journeys? And this will help me to prioritize the weak stage I need to focus on. Okay, so I can inject, for example, my NPS, the CS, if it's easy or not to do business with me, I can understand, okay, when I'm putting in place the different initiatives where I'm going to implement to improve my customer experience, I can understand the impact that I give into my organization. Okay, here I can measure the impact that I give into my customer by measuring and asking the NPS, the loyalty, the satisfaction level. But again, we need to go further and understand the impact that we will provide to the business. Okay, because here is really what we need to ensure. What is the value that we are providing to organization? And when I'm talking about value, I'm talking about revenue. Okay, how much money we are providing to the organization, okay, or how much money we are saving to the organization by implementing the outcome that we are getting from doing this journey mapping exercise. Okay, and you can see that you can inject all this information into Cemantica that will validate the work that you are doing by mapping those journeys.
And essentially then close the loop.
Exactly.
Amazing. Anna, this is super insightful. This is clear, and I think that this layer of project management, because all this can be packed under a project that we can deliver back then internally to meet the business needs overall. I think this is so powerful because at the end of the day, we need to be able to drive this internally to make sense to the entire organization. I think this is pretty amazing. So just to go back on what we said earlier, and I will share back. So you said it a couple of times, but we haven't really yet deep dived into it. You spoke about prioritization. So really, when it comes to the level of a journey atlas, I would say in terms of prioritization, think of, let me, challenge you there. Think of a company that is just getting started, okay, with journey mapping. What should they focus first with? Where should what should be the starting point here?
Okay, so first I will talk about strategy, okay? What is the strategy of the organization, okay? So depending on that, on the strategy, you can have different approach, okay? So as you can see here in the graph, there are different strategies based on the business impact, if you are taking a look at the short term, or you are thinking about the long term, and then the advocacy, okay? So here we can imagine these 4 quadrants, okay? The first one is the mainstream, okay? So it represents the customer and the journeys, the broader segment in terms of traffic and volume of sales, okay? The ones that are giving you more revenue, okay? Then you have the VIP and represent the high value customers, and they have strategic business importance. Or you can focus on the challenge. I mean, those journeys or segment of customers that are a challenge for the organization, okay? Because they are unsatisfied, because you are not covering their needs, okay? Or you can focus on a segment or journeys of potential. For example, if you are launching a new product or a new business that can represent a potential for your business, okay? But if you said before, if you are getting started, okay, with journey mapping, the recommendation super clear is, first of all, to keep it simple, okay, and to focus on the mainstream, because it's there where you are going to get most out of the mapping exercise, okay? So focus on the mainstream will be my recommendation.
Okay. And what about B2B? Could that also be applied to the B2B industry?
Wow, this is a very good question, because when you are in the B2B business and we have many customers in the B2B industry, you need to take a look at who is who in the organization, okay? So here we are not talking about the customer, but when we are, what we have in front of us is the company. But really the company are different people that we are interacting with when we are dealing in the different customer journey. We have the decision maker, we have the end user, we have the influencer. Okay, we have different stakeholders, and we need to select who we need to focus on. Okay, so again, it's a matter of prioritization. Yes. So first we need to, what we do normally is we work very close with the company in order to understand their vision, their mission, their strategy. We run different interviews with key people in the organization in order to understand from an external point of view, okay, where they are, what are their needs, what are they missing, and with that, we can imagine a clear picture of the strategy to get most out of this exercise of building the journey and then start mapping.
So mapping, okay? You've shared with us earlier this slide with all the different kind of journeys that the organization could potentially, so in our case, the case study of Supertech, that they could actually tackle and start mapping. But how do you actually decide what you want to tackle first? How do you decide which map you want to start mapping, as you said, as a priority?
Okay, So in Cemantica, we have a methodology that we are following with our customers. So we have different aspects, okay? So I'm going to highlight some criteria that from my point of view are key in order to decide what are the journeys you need to focus on, okay? Of course, there are more criteria, okay? But from my point of view, these are the let's say the most important ones, okay? First of all, the execution capacity, okay? Super important. We need to always to understand that we are doing a mapping exercise. We want to understand the experience of our customers because we need to drive change in the organization. So the goal is not to create many maps, super nice map with colors and blah, blah, blah. No, the idea is to drive change. So we need to move to execution. If we are not executing, the experience of our customers is going to continue being the same. It's not going to change, okay? So we need to be clever enough to prioritize the journeys where we know that we have execution capacity, that the people that are going to influence the decision makers and the people who are going to execute have resources, budget, and timeline in order to move forward with the initiatives that we are going to identify, okay? So this is the first one, super important. Second one is data. So I show you just some minutes before in Cemantica, it's very important to validate your assumptions because you are normally mapping internally in the company, but you need to validate what your customers are telling you, and you need to validate the KPIs. And if you are involving with the information that with the initiatives that you are implementing, okay? Very important to have data, okay? And validate your journeys with data. The third one is the complexity, okay? So you know, in this world, everything is changing super fast. So we always recommend to focus on quick actions, okay?
To stay agile.
Yes, be agile and focus on quick wins. Why? Because you know everything is evolving so fast. So if you want to implement a project that it will take you, I don't know, 2 years, who knows what is going to happen? Yes, in 2 years, imagine, Julia. So
COVID.
the more, wow. So the more you focus on quick wins, first of all, the sooner, the quickest you are going to show value to your managers, okay? You are going to show your success very soon. And then again, you are going to give value to the business the sooner as possible. So implementation complexity. And the fourth one, of course, is to be aligned with the business strategy. Exactly. That's why, the CX people or the journey managers need to take into consideration always the business strategy. Okay.
So just to quickly sum up here what you've just shared. So we start with a strategy for the overall framework, and then we have an evaluation criteria helping us define which maps we're actually going to tackle first. And I've heard you speak about also a mapping plan. So I think it would be nice also, to hear from you in regards to once I've understood what my strategy is, I have evaluated which maps fit into these 4 criterias. My next step is now to completely move to mapping. So what's your mapping plan, Anna? Tell us today.
Yes. So we always recommend our customers before starting mapping to have a mapping plan, okay? Because the mapping plan will save you time. Okay, so the idea of the mapping time is to take most out of the resources that you have and so to save time to people. Okay, for example, we recommend start by mapping the map details. Why are you mapping these maps? What is the scope of these maps? Then understand who are you mapping for? Who is your customers? What are their needs, frustration, expectations? Who is who internally in the mapping exercise? Who is the design team, journey owner, the different SMEs? Who is who, and we are creating a metrics of who is who, because the sooner you define the responsibility, the faster you can move forward. Then the methodology, okay, the structure, the deliverables that you are going to provide, and the timeline, how long it will take you to create these maps. And here, Julia, I have very good news for you, okay? Because in Cemantica, we have our assistant, Alex, okay? And Alex,
AI.
yes, is our artificial intelligence. And I want to share this, not because I think that Alex can help you, because I hear our users of Cemantica, our customers sharing that they
Completely.
completely change their methodology, including Alex, because Alex is saving so much time that they are getting experts providing the prompts to Alex to help them generate the journeys. So imagine,
Listen,
it's a drive changer.
it's honestly, I've heard it also myself from my customers, and the feedback was unanimous, saying that the time saved just with the help of this AI is huge, because obviously once they use Alex, they still need to go back in and manually edit, modify some of the content to fit what they need but on a much, let's say, detailed level. The fact that he is able to generate that level of preciseness in terms of journey is it's really unbelievable.
Yes. Also, I always tell, okay, I prefer for you to test it than for me to share it, because if you don't test it, you are not really going to feel how accurate he is.
I agree.
So I encourage everybody to test it and to try it, and then let us know.
Definitely. Perfect. Wow,
Good.
Anna, that was wow. I think we were really able to guide through the entire process of the journey portfolio, and also understand sort of the methodology behind it, and then move definitely into the practical side of it. And it's actually generated a couple of questions. One of which is, let me bring this question to you, from, I think it's one of a fan of yours, Anna, I have to say.
Oh.
One of the question was, so when we go back to the view that we had from the tool in the live demo, and you showed the journey portfolio, he's asking, so this sub-journey arrays is somehow a new feature? So yes, Ernesto, this is a new feature that we have delivered, definitely. The question is internal selling point in organization level journeys. So I'm not 100% sure, Ernesto, what you meant here. So if you could probably specify maybe your specific question here, so we can better answer. Just while maybe Ernesto can provide more details, I will ask you another question that we had, Anna, you spoke about data integration. Can you just share a bit more on what kind of integrations we have? We have here a question about which platforms can we connect with.
Okay, yes, sure. So as we mentioned during the session, you need to validate the information that we have with data, okay? So Cemantica can connect with more than 70 native connectors. So imagine if we talk about KPIs, the idea is to connect Cemantica with your CRM, with your ERP, with your information system, in order to provide where you are when achieving your KPIs, okay? Then you can integrate Cemantica with the VOC platforms in order to inject the customer feedback, okay? And then when we are talking about execution, as you already shared before, Julia, you can connect Cemantica with your project management tool, because we see Cemantica, okay, as another tool that you can have in the architecture in your company, as you have the CRM to manage your customers or the VOC data. You have Cemantica to manage the customer's health score. Okay, so here you can understand, and in order to understand, you need to integrate Cemantica with different tools. Okay, so we have experience with integrated Cemantica with many different tools. So it's just a question to understand what are the tools that our customers have, and it's very simple to connect and then to feed it Cemantica, information into Cemantica, and then we can provide information from Cemantica to the rest of the
To their
platform too.
internal.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. All right. Well, I think we're at the end of the time, Anna. We had a very intense 45 minutes on Journey portfolio. Of course, for all those that have any more questions, please email us. We're putting into the chat our email. If you want to watch the replay, you'll also be able to download it right from our website. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed having you. Thank you so much for being here. It was good, Anna.
Very good, very good. I really enjoyed, Julia.
Yeah.